Hey guys, what's up? It is Goliath's Downfall, and I'm going to drink this beer, and we're going to talk about the ending of The Last of Us. Now, I know the game's been out for a couple months now, and actually to me that's the best time to talk about it, after you've had some time to let it sit for a little. And, well, let me first talk about this beer before we get to it. This is Dead Guy Ale. It's like Rogue Ales. Looks pretty good. Ooh, it's a little bit musky. Refreshing, but it's a little bit of a muskiness to it. I like that. That's a good beer. Okay. So spoilers. Joel dies. He dies at the beginning. But throughout the game, you start to see both Ellie and Abby's backstories, but we're going to talk about Ellie's because I think she is more the main focus of the game. You see her and Joel's relationship kind of hit a peak and then die through flashbacks. And then you find out, right as the game's ending, that her and Joel were at the very beginning of kind of reconciliation. And I can imagine that right after starting that reconciliation, the person getting brutally murdered, you'd be pissed too. So you just see how Ellie kind of turns to be obsessed to kill Abby in this plot for revenge. How Abby became obsessed with killing Joel. In a way, Ellie became the person who murdered her father figure. And yes, I know that Joel had killed Abby's father, but it doesn't mean it won't hurt Ellie. And I kind of want to talk about the ending sequence where she gets to Abby, where they get to Santa Barbara, and Ellie sees Abby strung up on the pole, dying. And you see a moment of mercy with Ellie. Like, there's still some of that part of Ellie. Yes, Ellie grew up in a very brutal area, but I do feel that she had an ounce of compassion, I guess. And she starts to let Abby go. Abby gets Lev, they go to the boats, and they're about to go their separate ways. And then Ellie's obsession for revenge has one last kick, to where she threatens Lev's life to make Abby fight her, well, to the death. And I think, even though people think the ending was insignificant, I think the most significant thing in this was when Abby bit off Ellie's 2 fingers. Because when Ellie gets back to the farm, finds out she's now alone, she begins to try and play the guitar again, and that guitar that you had been able to play as Ellie throughout the entire game, you can no longer play it right, because she's missing 2 of her fingers. And while Ellie could learn to play the other way, learn to play left-handed, to play right again, she would not be playing the way Joel taught her. She would have to relearn herself using ideas from Joel, but it'd still be completely different for her. And I think that's something very significant, that she lost that last little bit of Joel that she had. the thing he taught her of playing the guitar. And I think if this game has any theme to it, I think it is that your quest for revenge will always make you lose a big part of yourself. I mean, yes, losing your fingers is part of yourself, and that's a physical part, but that inner part of yourself, especially if you're on revenge on behalf of another person. That person, that part inside of you that has that person in it, that part of Joel that grew on Ellie all those years that they were together and he was a father figure to her. That last little bit was lost when she had 2 of her fingers bitten off, because she could no longer do that thing that Joel had taught her, and that thing that helped bring a bond together. Because, well, she had to get revenge. And there may be a few other things she might physically have of Joel, but to me, someone teaching you something and showing you how something is done and showing you the way they do it, that is a much deeper thing than a physical item can ever be. Yeah, she may have Joel's broken watch, she may have Joel's gun, but she'll never get that part of Joel back. That part where they would sit together and bond over learning guitar. And that's just a small thought. I mean, I could probably talk about the entire game in a much longer video, but I'd like to start keeping my videos shorter. So, I'd like to hear your thoughts on The Last of Us 2. Personally, I loved it. I think it does show that Naughty Dog is still one of the top players in storytelling in video games. Did I enjoy it more than the first one? No, I didn't. I think the first one still had a better story overall, but the second one was still an amazing game in my opinion. So, if you like this video, hit like. If you disliked it, you can hit that button. Leave a comment down below on your thoughts and any video suggestions you'd like to see. Alright? So, until next time, I'll see you later. Santa Barbara, that's what it is. If I mispronounced it, sorry.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.